he is asking is why was Ol Kalou special? Why is it special?
I think let me be factual and just table honest truth. However, how painful it might be to my colleague panelists, the truth remains the truth that from the Ol Kalou by-election, the litmus paper, as far as ballot is concerned, the litmus paper has actually turned green. And that is the feeling. Let me start by the issue of, he mentioned that there have been many by-elections. And I want to say that my party, the DStv party, has only fielded in 2 parliamentary by-elections, just 2. That is Emuru Adikir and now Ol Kalou. And Emuru Adikir, we fielded a young man 1 month to elections, and he was able to get 12,000 votes in the backyard of the President William Ruto, despite the investments of the state at that time. Dollar Line got around 18,000. So the difference between us and the president at that time was about 6K in his backyard. And that was a away match. UDA was playing home at that time. Then Ol Kalou by-election comes in. Now DCP is now playing home. This is now the return match. Now we are playing from home. William Ruto fields Mushina. The DCP party fields, for the second time, a parliamentary candidate. People are allowed to do their campaigns and all that. Fred, I was in Ol Kalou, and I can tell you, when we say the government invested close to 3 billion, it's not a story, it's not a farce, it's the truth. In Ol Kalou, it reached a point where you cannot get a change of 1,000 shillings. Everybody in Ol Kalou was having a brown paper. That's 1,000 shillings as the lowest denomination they could get. And meetings were happening every day. People were, young men and women stopped going to the farm. Nasema sisi tunaenda hii mkutano, tutoke hii tuende ile ingine, because if you attend 3 meetings, you have 3,000. That's the government for you. Elderly women and women in Ol Kalou were given doll shoes every day whenever they showed up. Ol Kalou were given boats. Walipewa, and let me tell you, even on the election day, the road from Ol Kalou town to Huruma polling station was still under construction. Siku ya kura. And all these were being done to lure and shift the thinking and lure the voters into the government side. But I want to say this. The people of Ol Kalou has set a pace in this country that we cannot look down at. Fred, that election was between Sammy Douglas Kamau and Mushina. But by extension, it was between the people of Kalou and William Ruto, the president. And whatever Mushina got, the 5,000 votes, cannot be replicated to William. Because Mushina is a son of that place, and Mushina was an employee of the former MP, the late. And by extension, he was able to interact with people during the tenure of his boss, the late. So he was able to gather some few intels and of course make some friends. And that's how he was able to, he managed 5,000 votes. Samuel Aweru garnered 35,000. 35,000. Fred, if that cannot be used to set pace for 2027, then what are we talking about? This is an election that the government invested almost close to everything. Close to everything. And William had even threatened to visit Ol Kalou. But after getting intelligence that it's going to get bad, he withdrew. Because anyway, his visit could have not changed anything. So what are we saying here? The Ol Kalou election was testing different institutions. Number one, IBC. And I can tell you for the first time, IBC gave the people an opportunity to exercise themselves.
All right. Hans,
I know why he's laughing, because the UDA government, and they tend to imagine that because they had the powers to nominate and appoint the chair, Kenyans are so stupid that the chair will just walk to Bomas and announce the president like Chebukati did. My friend, shock on you.
Hans,
two. Let me just learn before my brother comes.
You'll come back. You'll come back.
I was just mentioning the institution. They're just
very brief.
The IBC. The next institution that was being tested in Ol Kalou was the state. In reference to 2027, what can the state do in an event that the people decide to make their own decisions? And we saw what happened. People in Ol Kalou, we advised them to vote by 11 done. By 11:30, everybody in Ol Kalou had almost voted. It was about 60% turnout. The state brought in violence from one to try to execute voter suppression, which was not successful because people had already voted. So the institution of state was tested in Ol Kalou, and we are very much aware that possibly in 2027, the only tool that William Ruto and his boys are having that can take them back to power is voter suppression through violence. The third institution that was being tested was the voter. We were testing, the Ol Kalou people, the by-election was testing if voters have actually made up their mind that despite state interference through bribery, voter bribery, they will stand and make a decision. And it was confirmed that regardless of how much you spend, how many doll shoes you give women, how many boats, how many roads you construct towards elections, provided that the people have made their decision based on how you've been operating before, they are not going to change their minds.
Right.
So those institutions were tested, and I want to say that Kenyans are decided, and Ol Kalou was just but the litmus test.
Okay. Hence, it is said that Ol Kalou